saying to Lucinda that I'm in it for the followers.
I never said that. I said my opinion is just watch yourself, because you have kept on saying...
Just because I had a shit date with you and I'm not interested doesn't mean that I'm in it for her followers and you have to go spreading shit.
I'm not saying that.
That's exactly how it comes across.
Am I the only one who feels like Zac should be sent home? I really feel like Zac should be sent home. I think if they sent Zac home, the villa would be more peaceful, because Zac is bullying people, he's intimidating people, he's harassing people, and no one is saying anything. The way he went for Abby, irregardless of whether she was right or wrong, was unacceptable. These are two guys approaching a girl and sort of intimidating her because she's outed them for the things that they've said. I don't get it. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 5, Episode 7. The producers are so messy, really, and they continue to be messy, and it's really sad that it's so obvious. Anyway, you have Abby go for a chat with Trent, because Trent is not happy with Sav because of the way she behaved. So he's now looking for a new home because he feels he can't take her around his friends or his family, that she might embarrass him. Their conversation, I really didn't see anything that stood out. They might know better. They seem to enjoy their time together. And Trent was excited because it meant that he had an option if he decided to leave Sav. I don't think he's going to be able to shake Sav off. I think he's going to have to ride the Sav train until the end of the show. And then after the end of the show, he will then decide what to do. But for now, I don't think the producers will want to see Sav go home. And because he's the one who coupled up with her, he is now stuck with her. That's the impression that I'm getting. And then you have the Islanders receive a game that they're going to play, a sweet tooth game, and get you ready. And so I think this was created just because they hadn't seen what they wanted to see, the producers, in the sense that they were hoping that Abby would have stirred drama. So because she wasn't stirring any drama, they decided to bring in this game, because you could see who they were aiming for. Everybody else got howl to the moon, meow like a pussycat, and yet Abby is the only one who was told to kiss her top 3. After she kissed the top 3, she was then asked to kiss someone she hadn't kissed before. So obviously she kissed Reed, she kissed Trent, and she kissed Kale. She didn't like the kiss with Trent. She said it's giving friendship vibes, so that's where she's going to keep it at. And so when she was asked to kiss someone she hadn't kissed, she kissed Nate. And after the kiss with Nate, she said he was a good kisser, but she was afraid of Tia, so she would rather stay clear of Nate. And it's like, hey, to each their own. And so that game was messy. Even the fact that you had Nakia be asked to, have a 3-way kiss, that to me didn't make sense. I was surprised that she decided to go with 2 guys. I don't know whether she felt safer to have 2 guys that she was kissing instead of her having to sort of kiss Kale with another girl. I think she's being territorial and trying to be very smart in that. She doesn't want to bring somebody else into their relationship. And so it was very messy. You could see it. You could see it was messy. This game was meant to start drama. That's the impression that I get. And I know for a fact it is going to start drama, because people are already feeling some type of way about it, and are already in their feelings, and are already looking for who's coming after my man, who's coming after my woman, and that sort of thing. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but it's going to be a mess. So next she has a conversation with Nate. I love Nate. Nate is always going to be honest. Nate is always going to tell his truth, irregardless of the outcome. So he told her the truth. He said, Tia and I are great. We're doing great. Besides, I've already spoken to her, and I've told her that if I need to explore anything with anybody else, I will let you know. So if I was interested in exploring something with you, I would have to let Tia know, because that's what we agreed upon. And you could see that Abby was biting into that. She was really eating it up, but Tia was shaking. And so she actually confessed that, when I came in, Tia told me that you are her man. And Nate sort of looked up and laughed, and he was, sort of like, oh, she's claiming me. And so that was sweet to see. But then I like how he brought up the Reed stuff. I was very nervous as he was speaking. I was clutching my pearls and saying, oh my God, I hope he doesn't turn into a Zac. But he was honest, because at the end of the day, his friend is the one that was sent home for Reed to stay behind. So he was honest with her and told her, you need to be mindful of what he says, because he will tell you what you want to hear. And he hasn't spoken to Kira to sort of tell her that he's interested in you. And Nate knows this firsthand, because Kira had already told him that Reed hasn't said anything to her. He hasn't even bothered to speak to her about his date. He hasn't bothered to sort of speak to her about wanting to explore a connection with Abby. So it was sad, but I think I liked the way he put it across, and it wasn't malicious at all. It was just for her to give a heads up that if you're going to pick Reed, know that this is what he's doing to his current partner. So be prepared for the outcome. If he does the same thing to you, don't cry or complain to anyone, because this is what he's doing. And so that was good. So she then pulled Reed aside, Abby, and sort of had a conversation with him and asked him, have you spoken to Kira about what's happening? Have you told her you're interested in getting to know me? And he said, oh no, she's gone to sleep. I haven't had a chance. And she said, well, you need to speak to her now, because if you're saying I'm your number one, I need you to let her know that you're interested in exploring a connection with me, and I am your number one. That way there's no tension and there's no drama between the two of us. And he went, I don't think he wanted to talk to her, because he could have easily have shaken her, or tried to prompt her to wake up. All he did was whisper. When she kept quiet, he moved on, and he was busy reporting to Lucinda. And it's like, why are you telling Lucinda? Lucinda is not in this relationship. The reason why you've been sent to speak to her is because you keep telling everybody else about what's going on, and you're not telling the person who saved you. And I think this is the beef with everyone, in the sense that they're wondering that this girl saved you because you said you could see you developing a connection. You said you had feelings for her. You are now saying you told her you wanted to explore a connection. Tell her what's going on, so that she knows exactly what's going on, so that she knows where she stands with you, and she can make a decision of whether she wants to continue to be your standby, coupling until you find your connection, regardless of whether or not she finds one. So all the islanders eventually go to sleep. And it's like, why is Lucinda lowering herself? Why is she making out with this fool? Please, I don't understand it. She deserves better. Why is she wasting her time with this man that is just there and is just treating her like crap? It doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, Kira at some point wakes up and leaves the bed. As soon as Reed comes to bed, she's that furious with him. She's realized that he played her. He played her, and she was talking all that talk to Ollie, and Ollie on his way to Australia is enjoying himself, seeing the highlights and seeing how she's being played by Reed, and there's nothing she can do really, because the power next time is going to be in his hands, and he has the power to send her home when she saved him. And so it's sad when she's in bed. She comes back to bed once everybody's left the bedroom, and she starts crying. And I'm actually surprised at Zac. He showed a level of maturity that I didn't understand. The fact that he was able to recognize that, this is out of his depth, and ask the girls to go and comfort her was amazing. And you can see the girls are pissed. So I don't know what's going to happen to Reed, because if Abby doesn't give him a shot, I don't think any of the other girls are going to entertain him, because he's now in their crosshairs and they're going to make his life miserable. The conversation between Kira and Reed was very awkward. It was very awkward. It was a needed conversation, but it was very awkward in the sense that I don't know why Reed couldn't just be man enough to sort of step up and just tell her the truth, that I sadly asked you to stay and said I wanted to explore a connection just because I wanted to stay in the villa, not because I had any romantic feelings towards you. So I am so sorry I didn't tell you, but I think I have a better connection with Abby and I would like to explore that. That's all he should have said, instead of him dancing around and sort of going up, down, here, there, everywhere. It didn't make sense to me. That's just my opinion. I feel he should have been honest. He should have told her the truth, and then it would have been up to her to decide what she wants to do next. So I'm happy that she stood up for herself and told him, you used me to stay in the villa. You didn't have any feelings for me. You didn't want to explore anything with me. You just wanted to stay in the villa. So you used me for your own benefit. And then once I was of no use to you. You dumped me, which I don't know why you did that, because that's very hurtful. I would never do that to you. And these are the words that Ollie used on her and told her, I would never have treated you the way you've treated me. And sadly, that's how she's being treated. And so for him to just play dumb and say, oh no, I didn't say I don't want to get to know you, I'm open to getting to know. No, you're not open to getting to know her. You want to look like a good guy, but you're not open to getting to know her because you've told everybody else that you don't see anything romantic with her. I don't know why you lied to her. And now you're even more of a bad guy, because in the eyes of people, you are seen as this person who used somebody else for their benefit and then dumped them at the first opportunity, which is very bad. So it was sad to see that. But then, so you have Sav and Abby go for a chat, and Sav is being told that, Trent said you didn't like the way you spoke. It was very crass and you're not his type of girl. He normally goes for this type of girl. And so, you ain't it for him. And yes, it was good that she told her the truth, but it was a bit too harsh given the fact that Sav doesn't take feedback very well or criticism very well. And so Sav, I'm happy she went and she's confronted, Trent and asked him, what did you say? And this is what I heard. And he pretended to be dumb and pretended, oh no, I just said we had a problem with what you were saying, but otherwise we're fine. No, that's not what you said. We all heard what you said. Do you forget that you're being recorded? You're on TV. Make it make sense. And for her to eat up what Trent was saying, it shows how deep she's in it, how much she really likes him, and she's got blinders on, and she's not prepared to see anything else that doesn't align with what she wants. And so she was so gullible that she quickly ate it. I would have asked, or I would have called her and set them side by side and asked them, okay, can you repeat what you said? And then ask her to say, yes, that's what he said, or no, that's not what he said. So for her to just accept what he said at face value and say, okay, that's the truth, I don't get it. Yes, she's known him longer, but at the end of the day, he's trying to save himself. So I really don't understand that bit, and I don't understand why she was so quick to take it for what it was when she could have easily set the two of them down and asked them. It's sad to see that, Kira is still moping around the villa and she's talking about karma, but hey, it is what it is. And so then they receive a text message to say they'll be playing a game that's called Out of This World, where super fans get to vote and sort of give scores on questions about a couple. First up is Tyra and Ben, and they are asked, what percentage of people do you think Kira is playing it safe by staying with Ben? Turns out 90%. Yeah, I'm one of the 90%. It's obvious that she's playing it safe. She had better chemistry and better connection with Kale, but she decided to forgo that to stay in safety because she didn't want to compete with Nakia, and she didn't want the tension that would come with her trying to sort of pursue anything with Kale in regards to Nakia being upset with her. Next is Kira and Reed, and they're asked, what percentage of the viewers do you think that you would win if you were together as a couple? And Kira was shady. She went 0%, and Reed went 3%, and it was actually 30%. And it's like, what are people looking at that we are not seeing? What 30%? Where is it? I can't see it. They hate each other with a passion. Kira hates Reed with a passion, so I don't see them being in a couple anytime soon. Next up is my fave, Nate, with Tia. And it's like, what percentage of people think that Tia is going to break Nate's heart? 60%. What are they watching? I think he has a better shot with Tia than he has with anybody else. And Tia would be crazy to let go of Nate because all the girls seem to really want Nate. So I don't get where that score came from. I really don't. Next is Kale and Nakia, and it's what percentage think that they're compatible. I'm not surprised with the figure because I don't think they're compatible. I think they're attracted to one another, but I don't think as a couple they're compatible. I think he's more compatible, I'm going to repeat, with Tyra. So the fact that they got 15%, I'm not surprised. They were both shocked because they went 75 and 80%, but it's not that high. No, it's not that high because once the sex appeal wears off, there's nothing left between the two of them. Next up is Zac and Trent, and it's what percentage think that they will end up as boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm surprised nobody asked Zac how she learned to be an amazing pole dancer because she did amazing. And the fact that they went 45 and 35, he was just saying just this earlier in the episode or yesterday's episode that he really doesn't see her that way and she's too crass and she's not his type and blah blah blah. So I don't get why he's shocked with 5%. You told the viewers you don't like her, you don't feel her that way, so 5% is way more. You should have actually got 0%. Next up is Zac and Lucinda, and the question is, what percentage of people think that Zac likes Kira? The question is, what percentage think that Zac likes Lucinda more than she likes him? And I'm not surprised. He's coming across as a stalker. He's coming across as a fanboy, in Lucinda's own words. He's coming across as very creepy. So 80%, I'm not shocked. I'm not really shocked. I would have thought it would have been 100%. Next is Tyra and Ben, and it's what percentage of people think that Tyra and Ben will be boyfriend and girlfriend on the outside. Am I surprised? No, I'm actually surprised the girls thought it would be 45%. Tyra is not as into Ben as she thinks or as she's making out. We all can see she's not interested. We all can see that she had a better connection with Kale than she has with Ben. And so the fact that the viewers voted only 3%, I'm not surprised, really. I'm not surprised, and that's good enough. The producers know what they're doing because every time they bring up one of these games, they know it's going to create drama and chaos, and it's going to cause a lot of tension in the villa. Because after the challenge, you have people talking to their partners to sort of find out where they stand and what the future has to hold for them, in regards to the fact that they are now asking each other, do you think we're compatible? Do you think, the responses from the superfans were correct? Is there anything we need to work on? Is there anything we're doing wrong? And it's like, if the two of you really like one another, you don't need to focus on what people are saying. And I have to give credit to Nakia, because she showed a level of maturity that I didn't expect from someone her age. The fact that she actually said, okay, I understand this is what people think about us, but I am okay with where we are, and that's all that's important to me. I don't care about the fact that people give us a lesser score and feel like we are not in this for the right reasons. As long as you and I are happy, that's the most important thing. So I don't know. I really don't know. I want to assume that they are that mature and it won't come back to bite them, but I don't know. We'll see. And then you have Ben having a conversation with Tyra in front of everybody else and sort of asking, why do you think the viewer scored us so low? And it's like, what do you think? You told her you were open to exploring connections with other people, and the viewers can see this, so why are you suddenly surprised that, this is the score that you have? And she was right to say, in the real world, she would never have looked at him because he's younger than her and he's not the type of person that she would be looking for to get into a relationship with, because they are not yet as mature as she would want them to be. So I don't see anything wrong in what she said. And so for Zac to make a big deal about it and say you don't have to be that brutally honest, well, you asked her a question, she answered you, so that's it. Let's keep it moving. There's no need for you to keep on and keep on and keep on going on about unnecessary things. So I didn't like that. And so you then have Lucinda having a conversation with Abby. Abby is telling the truth, because I remember when she spoke to Zac on their date, Zac actually said to her, why didn't you lead with the fact that you were on 2 other shows before you came onto Love Island? So what he's after is celebrity. This is why he fought tooth and nail to win Lucinda, and he's done everything within his power to win Lucinda and not appear like he's desperate for her. That way she keeps wanting to stay in a relationship with him. I said this before. I said she's going to regret her decision for dumping Nate, and here we go. Because Nate treated her very well with love and respect, and she left that for drama, and here they are. I personally don't get why Sav and Lucinda felt the need to take their guys aside and sort of have a conversation. Why didn't they call this is why I love Scott from the Love Island UK. He would have pulled everybody by the fire pit and would have said, let's go, let's have a conversation, everybody say what you said, because these guys know what they said to Abby, but they are using the fact that they are a team to tag team and sort of bully her. I don't understand why Zac is still on the show. I know the producers want drama. I know they want ratings. I know he's the breakout, whatever. For them, he's giving them gold. But I don't think it's worth him bullying somebody. I don't think it's worth him being intimidating towards someone. I feel like they should have taken their girls and gone and sat down with Abby and with the rest of the group. That way everybody could hear what was being said. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to intimidate her and silence her. That way she doesn't say anything again and she comes across as the bad guy, when this is the truth. This is what was taking place. This is what they said from their own mouths. And suddenly, now that they've been exposed, they're pretending to be innocent and they're pretending as though Abby's trying to be a pot stirrer. She is not. They know what they said. They know what they did. They need to sit down somewhere and, you know, lick their wounds because they've been outed for who they are. We have all watched them and we've heard them speak. We can even press rewind and see what they said. Anyway, I get so furious. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Please don't forget to click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 6. Bye guys.